Welcome back, dear friends. Another exciting episode of making the Unplanned Steampunk arcade game, which we started last time. Thank you so much for all the suggestions and ideas that I've received. As I said in lots of the messages, I have put them all down. I'm listing them as we go and putting photos for reference down. Brilliant ideas, thanks so much. Loads of great stuff. Now I know I said originally that I wasn't going to draw anything, but there comes a time in everyone's life when you're trying to invent some three-dimensional object that ideally is going to end up in a three-dimensional world, and your brain is a muscle and it gets to the stage when you just can't cut it with simple grey matter, and you need a way of recording things. So I have finally done some sketches, because the next part of this I want to do is to work out the mechanism that is going to lift the ball up to the top and release it, and also will allow that to happen but only when there's a coin in a slot that's been put into it, because I really want to use this just to stable the change, you know, the loose change that you have. And I also want it to remember when there's a coin in the slot, so it can have replays, rematches. You can lift it again if you haven't lost, which is quite a lot to achieve, I tell you. Easy with eleckmatronicals, difficult with mechanicals. I'll show you what I've come up with so far. Actually, that was the first one when I started getting my thoughts together. And it is amazing how much you achieve. You work out very quickly when you start thinking like this. There's one idea, sort of feature of it. When a coin's put in, it sits on a lever which releases some sort of ratchet lock, and then you can lift this up. That was one idea. And then the next development was, once the coin's in there, it stays there, and this is released while with the weight of the coin, and go up and down until the ball rolls into a hole, which means that you've lost it. It's fallen out of the game, so to speak. Lifts a little thing up, the coin rolls off, the ball sits there ready to be released again next time, and then the ratchet, because there's no coin on it, seals it, if that makes any sense. So then I moved on to thinking about layers, how I could make it from layers of acrylic or wood. And I was thinking, well, I want these two tubes, one of which releases the coin, and the other one, if the ball is still in play when it's reached the bottom, just rolls round and you can lift it up again. And I started thinking about how to make all this, and the angles, and the fact that these have to be sloped, and I think 3D printing may be the way forward, at least for this part, because making it from wood or something is going to be really difficult. Now the downside is that it's going to take ages to print, and then I'll find I've made a stupid mistake and I'm going to have to wait hours for the next one to print. But you've got to start somewhere. Let's talk balls, steel ones to be precise, because I haven't got any. A stupid starting machine like this, and you realise you haven't got any steel balls big enough. So I've decided to go with a 16mm diameter one, not too big, not too small, hopefully. So I've ordered them, and hopefully some will arrive today. So here we have it, the wonderful 3D builder. Look at this. Isn't it amazing? Just insert a ball and make it chrome colour. Looks like from the reflection that I'm actually working in the Parthenon. It's very strange. Now, to make the funny shaped tubes, what I thought I'd do is to make two 17mm diameter balls, and then join them with a tube. It's lovely how it snaps in. And then that, basically, the ball will be able to roll backwards and forwards. Then I can angle bits and create more bits as I need them. I won't show you all the details. And then, once I've got this strange shape, I'm going to subtract it from a block, which will leave holes. It's just mind-blowing. So I'll get on with it for now, and then I'll show you when I'm going to subtract stuff, because I love it so much. About 4 or 5 minutes later, and I've got this. As I say, it's so instinctive to use. So that's great. So I've got the two entries for the balls at the top. One that's going to have the slot in so that it can let the coin fall out, and the other one just to let it drop in and ready to be lifted again. All angled. And there's the output one. And then I've got this translucent box, which I just moved out of the way. Everything snaps, it's lovely. So now I've moved that in. select on that bit, and then you go up to the top, and I think it's edit and subtract. Will you look at that? I mean, that's just mind-blowing. Look, that's just incredible. And if I was making that out of wood or so whatever, acrylic, it would take, well, it's going to take ages printing, but that's amazing. Right, my next job is to fiddle around and try and get this coin thing in the top. Now, these are the common coins, well, yeah, in circulation in the UK currently. Because I want to create or design a system that will accept all of them, I don't know whether I'll be able to get it to work with the really small light ones, but then if you're a skinflint, you'll just have to put in more of them until they weigh enough, I suppose. This is the biggest, a £2 coin though, so that's what I'm going to go with. So, in breaking news, I have to go and lie in a darkened room, talk about concentration. So, there we are, I've got the slot, so the coins will drop down, hopefully, and end up where they're meant to. And here's the mechanism to release the ball, because obviously if it's the losing ball that goes down that, if it's the ball still in play, it goes down that and leaves the coin where it is, but you don't want it to fall out the bottom. So I realised the simplest way was to have a prong that sticks down, to use the proper technical jargon, and a lever, so that when this whole thing is lifted up inside by the handle, you can have a sort of adjustable screw or something sticking down that just basically pushes that down, lifts that up, and the ball's released. So simple, or not. I've just realised that when I try and push this lever thing down in here, it wasn't going to fit. There's quite a big difference. So a little rebate hopefully will do the trick. And here we have it. Getting it ready to print, which basically just means deleting all the bits that aren't necessary. I think it should print okay, even without any internal supports, because I've found that when you have a curve, it actually copes really well, because it's just printing in, my finger, printing in slowly each time it goes up, and it can actually do unsupported curves. So hopefully all those unsupported curves will work okay. I've dropped the drawing, the STL version of the file, onto the Creality slicer software. Well, now it's calculated all the different slices. It's going to take 10 hours, 3 minutes to print, and it's going to use 22 metres of filament. Right, save that as the G code onto the little SD card and get it warmed up and printing. I've been printing loads and loads of these moving gauge kit things. I just realised I've almost run out of this. Imagine starting off for 10 hours printing and finding it's run out. But luckily I'd bought 2 when I ordered that, so I've got a new roll. So I've got it programmed in on the little SD card, and it's now starting its merry journey. 3 hours and 45 minutes, 22 percentiles. What have we got? Look! It's printed the bottom hole. 13.5 hours later, the next day, look! I can never believe how amazing 3D printing is. That you can turn a drawing that you've created into a perfect print 3D object. And as you can see, it's pretty darn good without any internal supports. It's a little bit rough at the top where it gets to almost horizontal, but that's amazing. Now let's get a ball through it, see what happens. It goes in here, doesn't it? Yes! Like this one. Yes! Isn't that amazing? There's that little lever. Let's see whether it fits in here. Oh look, and there's the slots. Excellent. Look at that. Oh, this is just so exciting. And there's the lever that's going to operate that. Does that fit on there? Oh, it does. There's the hole to fix it onto the bottom of the handle. Yeah, look at that. It lines up. I shouldn't be surprised really, I suppose, but I am. Ah, amazing. And then that will lift up to the top and release the balls, and can collect the balls at the bottom. And the coins, I think once the game is finished, the coin just gets flipped down the side, hopefully, and then can just sit down in this bottom bit. Let's put the ball in. Press the button. Yes. Oh, it's just so exciting. I must come up with some more descriptive words, but it is right. Now I'll get this bit on and we'll try the coins. I've now thought I'd slice open the base so that I can see where the ball is actually going to rub. I just guessed it before, and it just, well, there's the original one here, and it just hit that bit and wouldn't actually lift it. And also the coins weren't rolling away, so I've changed the angles thing. So I've got a little, because you can't really measure with this, so I've got a little red piece there, little shape, a little red piece there to show where it starts hitting and where it ends. And I'm thinking I'm going to just slice that bit between the two, and hopefully that will allow it to work. Let me show you. So the coin the coin sits there. And then when you drop the ball in the eel, that's it. Right. And then press that up and the ball falls out onto the floor usually. So it's getting there. Problem is that the coins, the smaller ones, fall out, they don't stay. I suspected that lever thing, the coin holding thing, may be a little bit problematic. And I was right. But I think it is solvable. So it is with regret that I'm going to have to redesign this. You know me, never give up. I'm going to get this done one way or another. It is going to take, accept all these different coins, it is going to work properly. It's like it is a challenge, isn't it? So plan 200 or whatever it is, ball comes down, pushes that up. It's instant. You don't have to wait, because that's the other thing, the time factor of this to be pushed over. If the ball's going too quickly, it bounces back and the coin doesn't get released. If it's too slow, it gets stuck. Whereas having it a sort of 90 degrees makes so much more sense. It's 2 days later. Took half a day to design the new version and a day to print it, and it's lunchtime today, and all the extra little levers and things have been printed. But fingers crossed, yes, this will be the one. So this is what we have. A lovely little collection of linkages and levers and things, which I'll trim off the base adhesion bits and bobs. This is what printed. Well, it printed last night as well, actually. Apologies, that was my son, who is on Easter holiday at the moment, and luckily the neighbour approached me about getting a load of gardening done. So he's got a job. He wasn't very happy at 10 o'clock this morning, 10 o'clock, to be woken up so early. But he's really enjoying it now. He's grinding up a load of bushes that have been covering their house. So that's exciting. His first earning job, really. So we've got the 3 parts of it again. We've got the coins are going to drop down in there and be held in place by a little pin that's at 90 degrees to them. She should move more easily and trap them better. And we've got a lever here, that's right, that they roll down, and that's going to work the ratchet mechanism that will stop this lifting unless there's a coin in place. I moved the opening system, the release for the coins, to the other side. So now, rather than having to lift the coin itself, which was asking too much, it just has to move the little pin out, and then that's perfect. And finally, we've got the same mechanism as before, but in a different place. That's going to release the ball once it reaches the top of the game. I'll get this together now and then show you how it works. I just have to show you this. It's the first bit I've been cutting out. So it's printed that really accurately. There's a hole that it printed there, and look, let's try it again. Look at that. Isn't that incredible? There's a 0.2 millimeters hole is bigger, the clearance hole, 0.2 millimeters. I can't believe the accuracy. That's absolutely gorgeous. You know how much I love moving things. I might just sit here and move this for a while. So the coins roll down there. Look, do you see? I've glued this. Well, I haven't glued it on yet actually. But that just pushed on beautifully. There's a stop, lots of stops this time, so there's a stop there. And the trick is, when you're 3D printing, if you want to print something that just sticks out, put an angle on it, 45 degree angle, and then it prints it beautifully. Okay, now I'm going to screw that is, on this panel with M3 brass screws that fit beautifully into the threads that are 3D printed. Oh, a 3D printer evangelist here. Do forgive me. Ta-da! Here it is, with its brass screws and all. Coin slots there, lever down below, there's the ratchet thing, and I've added a spring there to pull it back up. So that's nice, because there wasn't room for a counterweight. There's the ball release thing that was similar to the previous one. And here's my favourite bit, the coin release. So that pushes up and it goes through the linkage and then moves the pin, which is just there, out to the way. Tripod at the ready. Let's try the most difficult piece, which is the £2 coin. Ooh, that's flipped back. That stopped the coin. Now the question is, if I put the ball in here, oh look, dear friends, if I press, oh, it makes an old man very happy. Let's just, I won't bore you with all the coins. Let's just try the smallest, the 5p. Yeah, it's moved the ratchet back. Put the ball in. Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, this has taken so much time. This isn't even part of the game, but I thought it was worth doing because I can use this. I'm getting so excited by this game, by all the lovely comments and suggestions that you've sent in, that I think this could be the first of many games. I've never made any games before. It's all the machines have been about telling the time, forecasting weather, conveying information, never actually engaging with them and playing a game. So this is really exciting and worth spending a week or more working on one small part. I could also print this or paint this so it looks like brass as it's going to be seen, because it's quite a nice little intriguing thing. Anyway, stop it. It's been so long since I've seen the box, I thought I'd just remind you that it is an existing thing. So this sits in here and hangs on the end of that rod. I've got to make an adapter up. So that goes up and down inside. And I need to cut a slot in the outside and make a lovely little laser cut twiddly bit where the coins go in. That's definitely it for this episode. Who would have thought it would be so difficult to make a coin ball lifting mechanism? But I succeeded. Next time it's going to be starting to think about the gameplay, which is ever so exciting. I'm looking forward to that. Thanks again for all your suggestions. Since this video has taken so long to make, that I've received a lot more suggestions. I've got so many lovely ideas with Jules Verne adventure themes and airships and submarines. Oh, the sky's the limit. I can't wait. Hope to see you next time. Thanks again for watching and keep the ideas coming in. Please do.